Hey guys, today we're gonna do a video about full face snorkel masks. So this is becoming a new trend for amateur snorkelers. So compared to the traditional snorkel gear, which is just a goggle plus a breathing tube, these now have. Let me show you. This is the new one I just bought, right? And so these are just a full face. Okay, so you basically put your this over your the entire face, from the top of top piece goes to your brow, and then this to your chin. So your whole face is masked in this, and so you can see better, right? So the benefit of the full face mask is basically you can breathe normally. So your mouth and nose will be here. So you breathe through the breathing channels. This is the breathing channels. Okay. So your air goes on the side. So basically you don't have to practice the normal regular snorkel gear. You have to practice breathing through the mouth and put the mouthpiece in your mouth, the dirty mouthpiece, and then you don't breathe through your nose, obviously, right? So you have to practice that. This one is basically you breathe normally. This is your whole mouth and nose inside here. You breathe normally, just like you're breathing normal air. Okay, so easy to get used to, and also you can see a full 180-degree view through this better view and wider full front. This flat face, okay? So better view for the snorkelers. And I was told this is not for professionals though. It is just for amateur, like leisure snorkeling. Like you're floating on the water, seeing the fishes in the water, that's fine. But if you dive deeper, it may be causing a problem. So again, not for professionals. Okay, so I have actually purchased quite a few of these. I'll show you all these. So because when you first purchase these, you don't know what to look for, right? So you end up getting something that's missing something that you want. So let me show you all these I purchased since. Okay. Okay, so these are at least 3 I purchased. Okay. So what's common in them? So basically, what's common in them is that they all have this breathing tube, obviously, right? So how it works, this one that shows you better, is that in this breathing tube, there is a floaty. So when you above water, you breathe normally through these grills. Air goes in there. But if you underwater, this thing floaty goes up to block the air intake, so the water cannot get in, right? So it's pretty much the same concept as the regular snorkeling, right? But what's common is that they all get a good seal. So if you worry about the water leaking through these seals on your face, you don't have to worry about too much, because they all have pretty good rubber seal on your face. Unless you have a beard or extra hair on your face, this will pretty much seal from prevent the water from getting in. Okay, so that's whatever kind of mask you buy, even the cheapest one should give you pretty good seal. Okay. So breathing tube, like we said, is basically the same. Same concept. There's no leaking water that can ever heard of, right? So it's the same thing. There's no quality issue here. Okay. So how do you purchase the size? You have to get the right size for your face, of course. Otherwise, you may have a problem. Like if it's too big, you may have to tighten this buckle, this belt, or whatever you call it, right? Very tightly. Okay. The clasp on the back, you have to. It's adjustable, so you have to tighten it. But if you get the right size, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So how do you measure it? Basically, you measure your face from the brow. So basically this goes over your face. So This is basically the top is your brow, or the very top of your nose, and the end, the lower end is your chin. So you measure from your brow to your chin. It should be 12 centimeters. That's the threshold. So the shorter than 12 centimeters of your face, you should go with a small or medium, and the longer than that, you should get a large or extra large. But when you purchase, the seller will actually tell you how to measure it, right? To go with that. Basically, that's how you determine. Okay, so now comes the most important part of our review or buying guide. It's what to look for in a mask, because at first you purchase something, you may not have something you really want. Okay, so for example, this is the first one I bought. Okay, so if you look at that, what's missing? First of all, on the front here, you see there's no camera mount. So if you want to video your underwater adventures with GoPro or GoPro equivalent camera, there's no such mount. Okay, so that's why we purchased the second one. Here, where it's broken off, but we'll come to our point. But here is a GoPro mount right on the base of the breathing tube. Okay, you can just firmly affix your GoPro camera here. Okay, so that's something to look for. And so the third one purchased basically gives you a separate detachable GoPro mount. Okay, this is really good. Okay, I'll explain why. Because as you can see on the second one, so these GoPro mounts, they are standard. It can fit all GoPro or GoPro compatible or knockoff cameras. So it's basically 3 prongs here. The bolt or the screw goes through here, and on the other end there's a nut to secure it, right? So once you tighten them, you can see these are movable, right? So the base, because it is cheap plastic, so when you tighten the GoPro on your mount, the base may crack. Okay, such as this case. If you see this, this is a good, very good, actually very good mask. Yeah, we like it. But when you tighten the GoPro here, you screw it tightly, then this base is all cracked up. Then eventually it fell off. Okay, so you want something that's first of all detachable. Okay, so if you don't use it, sometimes when you don't use it, you don't even have to tighten it on this piece. So, but if you do use it, attach it to your mask and try not to tighten it too much. Okay, because otherwise you may crack the whole thing. Okay, so next thing, So next thing I want to show you is the breathing tube. Okay, so the breathing tube on this first one I purchased, it should be detachable, but it kind of is, but it's hard. So you can see on the back here, there's kind of an indentation. You have to press it down, then you pull it out to detach it. Because why you want to detach it is that this is a big size. In your luggage, this is going to be super long, right? If you can somehow detach it like this one, then you can just fold it, right? So you're looking for a foldable or detachable breathing tube. That's the first thing, to make the luggage smaller. And secondly, for the shape of the breathing tube, okay? So this one is actually a round breathing tube, okay? So how you attach that is basically you match the arrow here, with the brake here. Okay, you attach it, you twist, it's secured. Okay, so basically these are secured by a rubber seal, some here. Anyway, so So when you choose something the shape of the breathing tube, see this one is elongated or oval or almost rectangle, whatever you call it, right? So this is the shape I find that you probably don't want, because when you attach it, how do you make sure it's firmly attached, right? Because with these rubber seals here, it's hard to push it all the way in, right? So you basically end up twisting it this way, try to jam it in, then it may break this cheap plastic piece. Compared to the round one, right? You can just put it in there, twist, it doesn't break it. And also this one obviously is better quality because it's a thick plastic compared to that flimsy little cheap plastic thing. Okay, so this is something we look for, is detachable breathing tube, which is probably you prefer round, easy to attach. Okay, also a nice feature you have here is attach cord. So when you detach it, actually it doesn't fall off, especially in the water, I guess. Whatever, right? So because you don't want to lose your breathing tube, obviously, right? So attach cord is probably a nice feature. Okay, now we come to the next point, which is on this mask. This is the buckle, the clasp on the back. Okay, this quick release or quick attach buckle. This will be something you might want. See, this is very easy, just like your seatbelt in the car or on the airplane, right? Pretty easy to simply attach on the back. Because otherwise, for the first one, there's no such buckle, right? So what you do is you have to put this through here over your head, and then you just pull it down, right? So it's a little inconvenient, uncomfortable, right? So look for a buckle on the back. That will be the best way to attach the mask to your face. Okay. Third one, this is one I think we never had on the first mask, is on the bottom of your face mask, a drain valve. So basically, when the seal is not that great, and you accidentally have water in your mask, then how do you prevent drowning in the water? So basically, it's actually the same as regular snorkel masks. You can actually just exhale, blow air really hard into the breathing tube, and when it's above water, you can actually expel water from that breathing tube. Same thing as the old masks, those snorkel masks. But this one actually has an additional feature, the drain valve. So when you lift your head above water, water's here above water, the water inside the mask will automatically drain from this hole here. So you don't have to actually take the mask off to drain it, right? You just let the gravity do the work, drain the water from the drain valve. Okay, so that's a really good feature. You don't have that, so this one has it. This first one, the cheapest one we bought, I don't think it has it. Yeah. Oh, not a very good one anyway, even if it has it. Can you tell? Okay, so you may ask why it's like this, shaped like this breathing chamber, because it's a pretty common feature of all the masks, full face masks, is a fogless design. So basically, you breathe here, your exhaled air goes to the side chamber, back to out of the tube. Okay, so the hot air you breathe out, you exhale, does not fog your face mask. Okay, so basically it's a fogless design. You want to look for that, but it's pretty common nowadays. And now the final point I want to make is the accessories. Okay, some of them are nice to include extra accessories, such as, let me see, this one comes with the accessory bag, extra sealing rubber thingy, okay, just in case, and the GoPro screw and nut. Okay, this is actually useful because depending on what kind of a GoPro accessory you already have, in my trip, I had to take something off my existing GoPro mount in order to get these screw and nut. But now this one includes it, so you don't have to salvage something from your other GoPro mounts. And also earplugs. If you don't dislike water going into your ear, a earplug is useful. Of course, these are cheap and purchased somewhere else, but if you already have it in the accessories, that's extra points. Okay, so basically today we discussed all these. So if you haven't bought a full face mask, it's a lot of fun to snorkel in the water, but look for these things and you will have a perfectly good full face snorkel mask. Now the price of these, I buy them cheap, right? On eBay or Amazon, should be less than $20. Sometimes if you're lucky you can get like $11, $15. But these are this is the generic brand, right? They don't even have a name brand on it, imprint on it. So that's why they're cheap, right? The regular brands or famous brands probably will cost you $40 to $60, but they work exactly the same. I don't think there's any difference in them. Okay, so they're all made in China. So that's it. Enjoy your snorkeling.